There's going to be a pop type music or a street music.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Alicia. So today's video I'll be talking about things you should know before you lease an apartment or before you move out, just stuff like that. This is my second time leasing an apartment, my second move in like 2 years. So I lived one place for over 10 years and then I moved, lived in an apartment for 1 year, and now we live in this apartment for almost 1 year. So time has been flying by. So I have my notes on my phone. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone. Don't mind the paint splatters over my glasses if you can see them. I've been painting and I have not cleaned my glasses off. But we're just gonna still get into this video. This is kind of a relaxing video. But yeah, the first thing that you should know is you should budget. Budget. If you don't know how to budget or you're not good with finances, renting an apartment will force you to be good with finances. It will force you to budget. Like, you're gonna have to work on your money management skills. It is necessary, especially if you don't make a lot of money. I myself don't make a lot of money. My husband doesn't make a lot of money, and so we have to budget to make sure the little money that we do make go a long way, if that makes sense. You have to be ready for the ups and downs. You have to be ready for the ups and downs. Like, no one told me renting an apartment would come with so many ups and downs. Like, someday you might have to choose a bill over buying food, and that's something that has happened in my life. Like, I had to choose the Wi-Fi bill over buying food, or I had to choose paying the heat over buying food, or I had to slash my food budget in half and buy some food and not the other and pay another bill. And that's just, sometimes things like that happen. Sometimes you have it flowing and all the bills are paid, the fridge is stocked, and then other times it might be the fridge is empty and the bills are like piling up. So you have to budget and you have to be prepared for the ups and downs. So you have to, when you're looking for an apartment, look for good areas to live in. It is better to live in a good area than a bad area, in my opinion. Visit the area, make sure you can walk around and feel safe. Don't just sign the lease after seeing the apartment online. Make sure you visit the area. When we first started looking for apartments, I would drive an hour to come and see the apartments that I wanted to live in, to see the area, see the apartment, get a feel for the management, see if these were nice people, see if I could freely walk, run, how I feel in the environment, in the neighborhood, see how many black people versus white people versus, like, honestly, I was looking for all of that. See how close like the shopping centers are, how close Walmart, Meijer, the airport, you know, how close is restaurants, how close is downtown, depending on if you want to live in downtown or close to downtown or whatever the case may be. So you have to like see how close things are to the apartment and see if you feel safe in that neighborhood. Pro tip, make sure you read the lease in its entirety. Do not skip over no part of that lease. It is expensive to break leases. Don't skip, read everything before you sign on that dotted line. And it doesn't matter if you sign online or on the paper, it's still your signature and it still counts and binds you to that contract. So read the lease carefully. Another thing that I did when I was moving and looking for apartments is I read all the reviews. I read the reviews about the managers, I read the reviews about the complex, and if the reviews were bad, like extremely bad, I would not look there. Even if it had like 2 bad reviews, and depending on what the bad review was about, I would not look there. Another thing that I did, if I called the place and I just got weird vibes, I wouldn't even bother going there. Like, I wouldn't even waste my time. Like, if you're giving me weird vibes, I'm not going. Something that I did not know is how expensive moving can be. Granted, I've never moved since I moved to this country. Like, I moved with one suitcase to this country. I was 13. And so I've never moved in my adult life before I moved after my stepdad passed away. And so I didn't know how expensive moving could be. I didn't know about like renting a U-Haul truck. I didn't know about the fees you have to pay to apply for an apartment. Some places it can be $50, $75, $100. Application fee can be different. So be sure you know what apartment you want before you even apply, because you have to pay for the application fee. You have to pay for administration fees so they can run background checks and all of that on you. And yeah, you have to pay a security deposit. You have to paying the U-Haul truck, paying people to help you. If you're getting movers, paying movers. And so it's just a lot of fees in and around the moving process. It's things that you have to account for and you have to budget for. So make sure when you're budgeting, don't just budget the rent and the utilities, budget the fees that it's gonna cost to move about. So when I came to this apartment and we were gonna apply and we were talking about credit score, my husband just moved to the US and so he has no credit score. And so something that we learned is that no credit score is better than a bad credit score. They can't deny you an apartment because you don't have a credit score, okay? So just because your credit score is 0, they cannot deny you an apartment. And I've seen that in their thing, like they can't do it. You can sue them for that. So having no credit score is better than having bad credit score. If you have a credit or a credit score, work on maintaining a good credit score. Anything over a 600 is okay. Work on maintaining a good credit score, or just have none at all. Because if you have no credit score, you have no debt. And that's what a lot of people don't know. Like, you don't have no debt. You don't owe nobody if you don't got no credit score. So it's not a bad thing to not have a credit score. Like, people make it seem like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You just don't have no debt. And so he's on the lease. Like, he is a leaseholder even though he has no credit. And so that's something you should know. It's better to have no credit than bad credit, but if you have bad credit, fix your credit, because it plays a part in you getting an apartment. Like, they're gonna look on that credit score. They're gonna look, and I went to visit an apartment and they said they don't check credit scores. They only check to see if you have like certain delinquencies and stuff like that. And the vibe that I get from that is, if you don't check credit score, you don't care where my income is getting from. Is it going to be a problem if something breaks down? Are you going to take a long time to come fix it? And that's just the vibe I was getting there. Even though it's good that they, people can go in there if they have bad credit scores, yes. But are they going to like be treated the same? Is the apartment complex gonna put care into going to like check if something is broken? Are they gonna fix things on time? They just seem like they wanted to fill up the apartments. So that's a whole nother story. So something you need is savings. Now, the first apartment that we got, neither of my mom and I, we weren't working at the time, but we had savings. And so if you're going to use savings to get an apartment, if you're not working, you have to have, I think, 3 times the rent times 12 in your bank account in order to get that apartment. So that for us was, I think, over 70 grand you had to have to get that an apartment. That's just that one apartment. I don't know if most apartments do that or not, but it's good to have savings. I think it can eventually count against the income you're bringing in. So, and regardless if it doesn't count, it's good to have savings in your bank account. It's good to have a emergency fund, at least 3 months worth of rent and bills and all of that. You need an emergency fund. I can't tell you how many times an emergency fund saved us. like all the bills are paid and then the car breaks down, $1,000 to fix it, stuff like that. So you need an emergency fund. So some things I didn't know / understand was, number one, prorate rent. I did not understand what the heck was prorate rent, and I feel like I still don't understand it that good. But that's something that you should read about and you should ask about. Like, if your lease ends, I don't know, if your lease starts like December 20th, right? They're gonna charge you for December 20th to like the 29th or the 31st, sorry. And that is like prorate rent for the month. And then on the 1st you will pay for like January or something. I don't even know if that makes sense, but prorate rent is something I did not know about, and when I learned about it, I was like, oh my god, it makes sense, but I wish someone would have told me about this, because that was $500 out of my pocket when I could have given y'all when I could have give y'all the key earlier so I didn't have to pay the $500. But I thought since the lease ended like October 5th, I could bring in the key October 5th and be fine. No, I had to pay for October 1st to 5th because I had the key. So prorate rent. Utilities can be expensive. We're paying for heat, for gas, water. You know, those things can add up, especially if you live in a state where it snows during the wintertime. Heat is going to be more expensive, obviously, because it's cold. You know, in the summertime, it's going to be more expensive because it's hot and you're turning on the AC. And so it can vary, it can go up and down. So you have to like think about those things, that utilities can go up, it can go down, you know, it varies. Something I don't like about renting an apartment is the fact that maintenance or the workers can come in at any time. I don't like that they have a key to just come in and out when they feel like it. Like, I just feel like that's a safety problem. Of course, that's something that you have to give up when you're renting an apartment. Obviously, they don't come in when they feel like, right? But they come in if they need to fix something, right? And if you're not home, they're gonna come in if they need to fix something, right? And so that's just something that I don't really like. I'd rather to be here when they're coming in so I can see what they're fixing, what they're doing, making sure they're not going through my personal stuff. I don't know, but I just don't like that. But I know that with an apartment, maintenance workers have keys to come in. I know that. So another thing is the cost of the apartment might rise every year. So your rent might go up every year. I've not had any rent increases. Granted, I only spent 1 year in the previous apartment, and then this year we'll see how long we're gonna stay in this one. So they're gonna send us a letter or whatever, and I'll see how much the rent will increase, or if it will stay the same, and then we'll make our decision based on that. But that's just something to like keep in mind, that the rent might increase every year. And yeah, it's either you're gonna agree to the new terms or you're gonna find somewhere else to live. Okay, some other things that I did not know when I moved into an apartment. Number one, you have to change your address with the DMV or Secretary of State. And you also have to change your address with the post office. So that's something that I did not know. I went 6 months without a change of address. And yeah, it was awful. You have to get that new sticker on your driver's license or your ID. So definitely remember to change your address with the companies that you work with, and wherever you're getting your mail from. Change it with the post office, change it with the DMV. You have to reroute your mail. So that's why you change your address with the post office, to reroute your mail. Update your Amazon address. Like when we first moved, I mistakenly sent a package to my old address and I had to go get it. And so now that I know, okay, I update my address. I make sure my address is updated, okay, so I don't forget it. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is that you will need renter's insurance. That's something that I did not know, but good for you and me. It is very affordable to get renter's insurance. I paid $26 a month, which is not bad. And if you paid all at once, you get a discount. So if I had paid like upfront, I would have gotten a discount, and it would be way cheaper than paying $26 a month. But I didn't have the money at the time. And yeah, it is what, May. We have 2 more months on this lease, and then we'll decide if we're gonna move or not. In my previous vlog, you guys saw that we looked at apartments. Not sure where that's gonna go. Of course, I would like to stay here just because it's close to school. It's really in an ideal location, but yeah, we'll see where God takes us. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any tips, then don't forget to leave them down in the comment section. If I forget anything, then comment it down below. If I remember anything else, I will probably do a part 2 to this video. But I will see you guys in the next one.